Book 101 review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. One of her advocacy, making a magical love story creator. And of course, she is a relational coach, no other than Maze Kim Anderson.
How are you?
I'm fabulous, fabulous Miss Kim. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Pleasure. My
Did I
pleasure.
miss something?
No worries. So I'll take you want me. So hey everyone, my name's Kim Anderson. I'm coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia, and it's just been my pleasure. I have such a love of books, and I was just really thrilled when Daniel invited me and he said, "Hey Kim, why don't we talk about midlife transformation?" And I'm like, boom, like that's totally my jam. That's my space. I'm really all about midlife transformation. And boy, do I have a few books around me that actually helped me in my midlife transformation, that actually led to me birthing and actually getting into relationship coaching. It's been something that had been dormant in me for quite a while. And all of that led to sort of me even being here. I wouldn't even be doing interviews and sharing if it wasn't for my midlife transformation. So he couldn't have picked a better topic. And so I'm just really thrilled and honored to be here and share with you guys today.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Miss Kim. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, so as you said, let's talk about midlife transformation. So
Hmm.
tell us, what is a midlife transformation is all about?
Well, in a nutshell, for women, um, when you get to a certain age, it's gonna happen. Like there's
Yes.
not a whole lot we can do about it. As a matter of fact, there's really nothing we can do about it. It's going to happen. And so I think for me personally, I was sort of in denial that that whole part of my womanhood was going to change and transform. Like I didn't even want to talk about it, didn't want to address it, didn't want to acknowledge it, nothing. Fought it every step of the way, but surprisingly, I found myself right in it. And I think one thing that's really interesting, sort of about our generation, is that I don't remember my mother's generation or even my grandmother's generation talking a lot about the changes that women go through in midlife. I really I don't remember it. So it didn't seem like there needed to be generational wisdom that got passed down because they never talked about it. Um, but my generation, we talk about everything. So we sort of got the tail end of social media. We were the sort of the bridge generation. We grew up without it, but had to adapt to it. And so we talk about everything, and everything for us becomes a bigger issue than it was for our parents' generation.
A parent generation indeed. So, Miss Kim, tell
Yeah.
us. It's all about what's common piece of ourselves that having this midlife crisis
Hmm.
will, let's say, evoke, will
Hmm.
disrupt our life.
Hmm.
Which part of our life will, say, at the age of 40, 50, or 60? Which specific age that midlife crisis will happen?
Yeah, for me, I was in my 50s, but part of that also was that my identity was changing. I have now been married for 30 years. I have four adult children, and my body was changing. So I had the physical changes, I had the emotional changes, and nothing was the same. And I know for me personally, I was going through not only like that midlife crisis, but I was going through an identity crisis. Who am I now? I am no longer, the stay at home mother. I'm no longer the homeschooling mom. I'm no longer raising children. And so, who am I now? And that was sort of a hard thing to face because I didn't have those answers and didn't quite know where to look, and I didn't quite understand all the things that were happening to me. And that's when I started, really sort of getting real with myself about what's going on.
Mm,
So
yes.
many, so many identities shifted and changed. It seems like overnight. Like, so I just remember asking myself all the time, Daniel, going like, so who am I now? And I think that's
Yes.
probably universal for men and women. But it's just, we just sort of, you look in the mirror one day and you go, well, who am I now? Who am I today? I know who I was maybe 5, 10 years ago, but who am I right now?
Yes. And Miss Kim, how do you distinguish a true midlife transformation from stereotypical crisis? What is the key difference in mindset and outcome?
Mm, you know, that's a great question, Daniel. And I think a lot of it has to do with where we generated our self-esteem. And for men, it might be that they might have been physically strong, or they were, making a certain income. I'm just guessing. I'm not saying that's definite, just off the top of my head. But for me personally, I think it was, um did I get my self-esteem from my family? Did I get my self-esteem from generating income? And so if those things change, then does my ability to feel good about myself, has that lessened? And do I not feel as good about myself because I don't have that sort of result and reward back in my face? If I did this, then I get that. Like, if I don't have those, then where does my worth, where does my value now come from? What do I have to offer, and who am I offering it to? Where does my value now lie? And I think that is such a huge part when we start looking and talking about mid transformation in midlife. Where do we now generate our value, our own personal value?
Yes. And Miss Kim, this period is often marked by a deep, unsettling question. Is this all there is? How does the question while
Ding, ding, ding. How did
ding?
you know, Daniel? How did you know? Like, what am I doing? What is life?
Yes.
Like, you start asking yourself all the big sweeping questions. Is this it? Have I
Yes.
done it? Have I tapped out? Like, is there more to life? Like, really, all, and it's a great time. All of the big sweeping questions get put on the table. Nothing, nothing is off the table. Like, every question deserves an answer. If you if is this career right for me? Is this person right for me? Like, everything gets put on the table.
Yes, definitely. And what are the unique advantages of undertaking a major reinvention at midlife,
Mm.
opposed to an one's 20s or 30s? Is
Hmm.
there unexpected power on this stage?
Well, one of the things for me that actually helped me through this process was that I realized, or I just had this revelation that all the things that were going on, all the ways that I was feeling, all the things that I was experiencing, it wasn't happening to me. It was happening to me, but it wasn't happening to me in a way to beat me down. I literally had a mindset shift that it wasn't happening to me, it was happening for me. And when I was able to sort of step back and change how I looked at it, that it was happening for me, I began to see. And the beautiful part about it being sort of midlife and not something that happens in your 20s is that it sort of gives you a sort of a now or never mentality. If not now, when? If not you, then who? And it sort of is like a forcing of the things that have been lying dormant in you. If you're not going to do them now, Daniel, if you're not going to step out and do the podcast now, then when? Like, you're here, you're in the middle. You got years ahead of you to live. You've lived a great deal, but right now I need you to get really real with yourself, Kim. This was me, like the mirror in my face. If not now, when? If not you, then who? Like, can you just begin to accept that your life up until this point has prepared you for this next phase? If you cannot fight it and embrace it, it's going to be something really great for you. But this time has forced you to look at you.
Yes, definitely. And Miss Kim, let's talk about the catalyst and awakening. Beyond the obvious markers like age, what are the subtle internal and external signals the transformative phase is beginning? How can someone recognize them early?
I, I think I think you begin to notice some things emotionally. Maybe you responding to things more emotionally than you were before. Um, for women, we get to have those menopausal symptoms. We've got the hot flashes, we've got the all the those things that are forcing us to acknowledge to say something is amiss. Can you hear me okay? Because I'm getting a lot of feedback.
Okay, I'm gonna fix you now.
Okay. Okay. So you can still hear me. Okay. So I think we get to that place where we're like, okay, this thing is now forcing me to recognize and acknowledge some things that are going on in my life. And therefore, I must now I either move forward with what's been on my heart, or I step back and I don't do it anymore. Because see, we are in the middle. We don't have now limited time like we thought we had when we were in our 20s. Because right here, right now, we get to this interesting place. We can see, like, at some point, we may not be here forever like we thought we would be in our 20s. So we get really focused in this period, and we know that there has to be more now but it's our choice. We can either shrink back or step forward, but our emotions will probably start to play a higher role. We start to feel inwardly that something isn't right, like you said earlier. Like, is this all there is? Like, there's big questions that are looming for us. Do I need to learn something new? Why am I not satisfied with work? Like, why am I not satisfied with this relationship? Like, we just start to feel like we're in a cocoon, whether it's emotionally or physically. And it's like that pressure, though, is good for us. It may not feel good, but it is good. It's good for us because it's actually making us focus on the things that we've finally been called to do, that we put off for so very long.
Yes, for very long, for sure. And a
Mhm.
major tension is between obligation and aspiration. How do you navigate this responsibly without abandoning the call of transform?
So you said inspiration and
Aspiration,
aspiration and obligation.
obligation, yes.
Woohoo! You got great questions.
Thank you.
Obligation. Okay. So yeah, that's a balancing act. Um, because you have to look at the things that you've been obligated to, like those are our responsibilities, but we still at this point can't put our aspirations on the back burner anymore. um I know there were times, and I'll speak about this particular book that we got to, but there were times that I felt like I could no longer be silent or not speak about things that were bothering me, whether it was politically, in my home. I felt like a volcano. Like if I didn't release and speak and get things off my chest, that like I would literally erupt. I would literally explode. But why was I having that? Because I wasn't personally self-expressed. And here's where I think it gets really important is because I had to get to a point where the things that I had suppressed, they had to be expressed. And I had to, and when you've been married 30 years and when you've raised 4 kids and, when you've been a stay-at-home mom and you've, worked at church, like you sort of box yourself in. That was my experience. I sort of allowed myself to be boxed in and I kind of just went with the flow. So, on the one hand, I let obligations maybe control me more than they needed to. And I sort of got used to pulling back and hiding. But literally, whether it was hormonal or what, but I came to a point that I had to recognize that my voice was worthy. I was worthy to speak just as much as anybody else. And that sounds really simple. It sounds like that couldn't be a catalyst to aspiration, but it was. So on the one hand, I just began to recognize that, look, listen, I've respected you, you know, all my life, whether you were a ministry leader or whoever was in my life, like I've respected you. But now I'm going to now respect myself a little bit more. And I'm going to speak what's on my mind. I'm going to say what's on my heart. And without that extra level or layer of confidence, I would have never gotten to the point where Divine Perfect Mate, the thing that you see on the screen, where that was even released, because I wouldn't have thought my voice mattered. So there's obligation. Yes, there's things that we are responsible for. And I'm not saying be irresponsible, but I'm saying let's be more responsible now to ourselves. What is in me that needs to now come out, that has been held back for so long, that is now crying to come out. And that's kind of how I I didn't want to explode on people, but I didn't want to suppress myself any longer.
Any longer, Miss Kim. So, what will be your short term and long term goals as a relational coach?
I want to impact on the short term. I want to impact and help as many people as possible achieve the love story that they have always dreamed of. I say in my intro, my bio, that I'm a magical love story creator. Um, and I am I firmly believe that if someone wants love, they want to experience what true love feels like and experience that person and that partner that's designed divinely for them, that I can help as many people as possible um, experience that. Long term, I'd like to take Divine Perfect Mate around the world and have it be on TV, um, all over the world, so that the principles that I learned 30 plus years ago can be shared with folks. And here's my dream is that folks don't have to wait till midlife to experience their divine perfect mate. If we can help them when they're younger, they can choose right the first time and have the life and love that they always dreamed of for a lifetime.
Yes, for a lifetime, and good luck to your goals, and looking forward for more
Thank you.
success.
Thank you so much.
And what would be your piece of advice for those people out there want to be like you?
Well, first of all, like, don't give up. I think that's over there over my shoulder. Don't give up. You know, there if there's a will, there's a way. Um, and I think that if you will sort of get a hold of yourself while you're in what feels like the crisis, what feels like everything is out of control, if you will just sort of settle yourself and realize that no, this isn't happening to you, this is happening for you. All of that transition is actually for your benefit. And if you can look at it that way, it sort of eases the trauma of the transformation, because for women, a lot of times you're going to go through it whether you want to or not. So you might as well sort of get your emotional self together around it so that you can truly get the benefit from it.
Yes, make sure. Yes, indeed. And thank you for that advice, Miss Kim. Can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
Yes, sir. Here we go. You want me to talk about them one at a time?
Please go ahead.
Awesome. One of the very first books that really helped me on my journey is Worthy by Jamie Kern Lima. Can you see that?
Yes, I can see it.
Worthy. Now, I'll tell you, Jamie's got an amazing story, but this book really resonated with me. Like the moment I heard about it, I knew that that was the book. I am a reader, and so I have a library of books. I have so many books that I haven't even read them all, but that doesn't matter because if a title speaks to me, I buy it, and when it's time for me to read it, usually it'll fall on the floor or something. Like so, I have lots of books. I have lots of novels, but when we're talking about transformation, I was at such a dry, sort of lonely place during all that transition, that when I heard the title Worthy, I knew that was the book that I needed to read because it just spoke so much of where I was. I've been good, you know, like emotionally I felt like I was pretty good. Like my life. It's not that I didn't overcome things or have challenges, but I knew that if I was going to go to another level personally, that I had to sort of deal with some things inwardly. And I knew that I couldn't sort of hide from the fact that maybe I wasn't feeling the best about myself as I could. Maybe I didn't, maybe I wasn't pleased with my weight, or I wasn't pleased with my hair, or just, just little things that were eating and eroding my esteem about me. And so when I saw and when I heard Worthy, I was like, that's the book. That's it. That's the one. So I ordered it, and I'm like this. I'm one of those people that if I find something good, like I tell everybody, right? Like I'm like, hey, you guys, did you know you need to check this book out? And so I literally told so many people about Worthy that a friend of mine was listening to it on audio, and she was having people listen to it while she was doing Uber and Lyft. And so people would get in her car and she was like, hey, have you guys heard about Worthy? Let's listen to it. And so it just became this own thing. I had people and friends on Facebook that were like, oh my gosh, I'm reading it too. Thank you for sharing. Like I told everybody. And a lot of people obviously are in my age group. Lots of folks are going through the same thing, the transition of, raising kids, and now their kids are adults and they don't need you as much. And well, who am I? And answering those questions. Is this all there is to life? And why do I feel like my life isn't enough? And so Jamie Kern Lima wrote Worthy, and it was magical for me when I started reading it, because it just answered and touched on so many personal issues that I was dealing with, and sort of catapulted me into recognizing and valuing my own worth again.
Indeed, empowering books, and thank you for those recommended books, Miss Kim.
Yes.
And before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people, my other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too, comedy 101 in its third season, and my food 101 in sixth season this
Wow.
December, geography 101, love letters, Movie 101 and Music 101 are in fourth season. Science 101, Sex 101 in its second season. And my baby
Wow.
podcast, Mental Health Law 101 and Bible Verses 101. And of
I
course,
love it. I love it so much, Daniel.
thank you. Entrepreneurship 101. Please do listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Miss Kim,
Awesome.
tell us if you could give one piece of essential wisdom to someone standing at the threshold of their own midlife transformation,
Mhm.
feeling both cold and terrified, what would it be?
I would say everything you want is downhill. Relax.
Yes,
Relax.
take a deep breath.
Yes, relax. There's an answer for whatever it is you're facing and however you're feeling, there is an answer. So relax. Everything you're looking for is downhill.
Yes, downhill. So, people, yes, Miss Kim, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world through midlife transformation. So, can you
Thank
please
you.
invite our listeners to support your advocacy, your business, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Yes, thank you so much for asking. Yeah, so here's my gift to your listeners is a free PDF. Please visit divineperfectmate.com. As you see there, that's on the screen. Put your email address in there, and you can download a free 8 step guide that's will put you on the pathway to your divine perfect mate. And when you do that, you'll actually join our community, and we can talk and share so much more once you're inside the community. And if you have any questions about Divine Perfect Mate and what that might look like for you, then feel free to ask any questions in there. And that's a place where we can start communicating. And so it's been my pleasure, my honor. Please visit the site divineperfectmate.com and get your free PDF as my gift to you.
Yes, and thank you for that gift, Miss Kim, and happy holiday.
Thank you. You too.
Yes, 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 yes. People, let's support Miss Kim Anderson because if you support her for sure, more and more empowering coaching will rise. Oh, and of course, there will be a magical love story that will create. So, Miss Kim, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
More to come, people. See you soon.